Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is a beer from Goose Island. This is Bourbon County. This is Bourbon County Barleywine from 2015. So let's see how this vintage turns out. I'm drinking an old bottle here. This year they did not release regular Bourbon County Barleywine. They released a coffee Barleywine, unfortunately unable to get any. Maybe we'll run into some and review it, but reviewing this old vintage. So this was bottled about 3 years ago, yeah. Pretty much 3 years ago. So beer comes in a beautiful brownish color, deep amber brown color, has a little bit of this kind of amber hue to it, deep amber hue to it in the light, but really nice kind of color to it. Let's get the aroma on this one. And with that classic Bourbon County viscosity, sort of some of it sticking to the glass, beautiful medium to medium plus brown head on there. Let's get the aroma. Smell of dark fruit, cooked apples. I actually don't even know if this vintage is a vintage that had infection issues. So let's see how we turn out here. The bubbles actually seem a little bit weird. They're actually quite large, so maybe that's an issue. On the nose, not as sweet as Bourbon County, and I'm already getting worried as sort of the initial reaction that I had. I was like, oh wait, I forgot if this vintage is off, and you could sort of see it by the appearance. Large bubbles here. Yeah, it smells just like cooked palm fruit. So a lot of like pear, caramelized kind of apple thing. Some of that whiskey note underneath. A little bit of like kind of caramelly sweetness. Yeah, smells interesting. Cheers. Oh man, I should have known. So that's one of the telltale signs. This beer definitely had some, I guess lactobacillus was eating away at it, and it was just chewing away at the sugars and just created this little bit more sparkling kind of carbonation. And you sort of, I mean, I can't really show it to you on camera exactly, but actually you might be able to see it. There's just some large bubbles there, very large, whereas this sort of should have a taut, kind of tight carbonation to it. Yeah, that's pretty bad, but let's tell you what the flavor it is. On the nose, I should have known. Yeah, it's actually not bad. It's actually decently drinkable. It actually tastes a little bit like Eau de Brune, kind of, because there is that acetic tartness. It's not that lingering. There's a full maltiness behind it. Yeah, that's actually crazy. You know, my face reaction was because of it being Bourbon County Barleywine. I expect something different, but it honestly tastes like a pretty decent Eau de Brune. It has not that sharp of acidity. It sort of hits off the tongue up front, doesn't drive too much in the back, has just tons of this kind of cooked appley fruit flavor driving around. A little bit of that kind of balsamic vinegar thing up front. You know what? This aged to be pretty decent. I'm like honestly impressed. There's a little bit of that brassy kind of penny, not too intense, like sort of like irony blood thing, but a little bit of that kind of metallic in there. Good amount of the alcohol, pretty hidden on the alcohol because the acidity is driving through, so you're not really tasting the whiskey and the booze and the high percentage this beer is. This beer comes in at 12.9%, and imagine lactic acid. Yeah, it's not really an alcohol producer. It's sort of more just the acid being produced, so it shouldn't be too much higher than 12.9. Has those classic kind of acetic, kind of like Flanders notes to it. You know, not quite, a little bit red wine-like, so a little bit like a big Flanders red, but really this is so malty that, yeah, it's sort of like a Eau de Brune, and I haven't had a proper Eau de Brune in a minute, but those usually have a little bit more of a mouthfeel. This sort of dries out quite quickly, but you give this to me blind, I would not be able to tell you that this was a infected bottle or something. I would have just assumed some kind of big barrel-aged sour beer that was being produced. It's a sipper. But yeah, there's a nice chewy malt thing up front. There's a little bit of a light chocolate note, possibly coming from the use of bourbon barrels, the Bourbon County barrels. They use Bourbon County barrels and then age this, and they stopped doing that because that was probably part of the infection issue. Honestly impressed. Like full wine, I don't hate this beer. It's just sour beer that's like big and boozy, a little bit thin, but yeah, doesn't have much of a finish to it, but I'm honestly impressed. If I had to rate this blind, I would have guessed. I would have given this. It's decently vinegary, I will say that. Not the worst beer, but yeah, it's not bad. 81. I actually like the barrel character a little bit sweet in there. Has a little spice note too. 83. 83. Maybe it's better than that. I'm trying to tear away my perception of what this beer should be to what I'm actually tasting now and what I think of it. It's got like a beautiful like appley spice quality to it. I would have thought like a winter sour that they did with barrels, and the spice sort of plays in there and get that cooked apple thing going on, and there's a little bit of acid in there. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. 84. Sure, let's go with 84. This is actually pretty good. And honestly, like, it's so hard because, you know, what if you told me, what if you put this in a different bottle and branded it differently and told me that this was somebody's bourbon barrel aged big brown ale sour beer, you know? What would I have told you? Not bad. 84. That's what I'm willing to say right now, and I can't tell you that I wouldn't give it a higher rating if it's a different bottle, but that's what I think right now. Not bad. If you're aging some infected Bourbon County, enjoy it now. It's actually tasting pretty nice. Until next time, guys, cheers. Later.